The year's 2023 and LEGO Star Wars is finally making adult LEGO Clone Wars sets, including Captain Rex, Commander Cody, and Princess Leia, but she's not from the Clone Wars, but she's also celebrating an anniversary, much like me. Shout out to my wife for being married to me for 11 years. These are the LEGO Star Wars 2023 Clone Commander Cody helmet, Captain Rex helmet, and Princess Leia as Boushh helmets, ringing in at set number 7534950 and 51. These clones and characters on the all-black box art looking pretty sweet there. It's not a perfect model, as we'll find out in this review, and the LEGO Star Wars designers have given us an insight as to why that is, but these still just might be what a lot of people are looking for at the $70 price tag for a LEGO Star Wars helmet set. The side and the back of the box are also included, and can I just say it's nice to see Captain Rex and Commander Cody on there after so many original trilogy 18+ sets. It's nice to see some Clone Wars representation. These helmets are going to measure in at an impressive 8 inches, which is pretty big there, and let's unbox this puppy. Inside of the manuals we do have short write-ups about each of the characters, which I have read in their entirety so that I can analyze and nitpick them to try to find every little thing that LEGO Star Wars designers might have gotten wrong. Unfortunately, in this case, it seems like most of the information here is relatively accurate. Each of these sets have tiny sticker sheets, but we'll complain more about those later. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with all of these, so let's get started looking at the details of them, and I'll tell you if you can decide if they're worth buying. Each of these sets have the same base or stand for the helmet, and this is something that I'm very surprised LEGO Star Wars designers haven't gone and meddled with and changed around like they usually. They wouldn't keep something the same, even though it obviously should be with these helmet collection sets, so unfortunately, nothing to complain about there. Let's take a closer look at each of these helmets one by one, starting with Captain Rex. I kind of assume it was intentional for this one, but the bottom 4 studs are blue this time, so that kind of matches the Captain Rex vibe. Just like all the sets before him, and all of my teeth, little plaques are included in this case with the LEGO Star Wars logo and his name. Unfortunately, on my particular set, the P has a bit of a misprint that makes it look kind of bad. As far as details on the actual helmet, we'll start with the side vents here, because that's the kind of thing that LEGO Star Wars fans care a lot about. It is the proper number of side vents, with 6 represented with these black markings on stickers. I think these stickers are a little bit large. They have a little bit of extra white space, which contrasts to the white of the LEGO plastic a little poorly, but it's not the biggest deal in the world, although I still think it's worth complaining about. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, how about more stickers? The next important section is one that can look a little bit wonky depending on which angle you're looking at. We have these weld lines, or the connection lines, for where Captain Rex connected the Phase 1 and Phase 2 helmets that he used to create his helmet here, and there's a few stickers that create this. I put these stickers really close together. Again, this is something that's really important for this set. If you get it wrong, you might as well throw the whole thing in the garbage. There's gray circular pieces here. I'm not entirely sure what they are on this helmet, but I know they're also unlike the wolf and fox and lion, tiger, and bear helmets, and they're accurately represented on this helmet too. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that these helmets can actually pressurize, and I guess they could be used underwater or to filter out poisons on foreign planets, as we found in the recent episode of The Mandalorian. Sorry, spoiler alert. So now we have to talk about the most controversial section of this helmet, and that is the mouthpiece, and I shouldn't say it's controversial. There's really no controversy to be had here. It's simply too small, unlike my own mouth, which is simply too large. It's inaccurate to the actual helmet, and a lot of other stuff on this helmet is really accurate, aside from the glaring inaccuracies we've already pointed out and have yet to point out. So when you have something as jarring as that, comparing it side by side, it's very noticeable that that is not as big as it should be. It should probably come out to where my fingers are, basically twice as big, I would say. The saving grace of this particular section, thank the maker, I suppose, is that it's a printed piece, which is amazing and unexpected given that every other detail on this set is a sticker, and again is glaringly inaccurate. I was curious as to why this was, of course, and so I got a quote from my friend Dave, who said, "I don't know why you keep asking me this. I don't work for LEGO. I don't design LEGO Star Wars sets, and if that's you calling my house every single day at 5 in the morning, please stop. I've already blocked your number." So yet again, more evidence towards the total incompetency of the LEGO Star Wars design team. Some of you could talk about this mouthpiece all day, but I've already put myself to sleep twice just thinking about it, and I wouldn't want to bore all of you or artificially inflate the length of this video by talking about 2x2 wedge plates or anything like that. Nope, would never do anything like that. Aside from Rex's mouth, we also have Rex's eyes, shoulders, knees, and toes. Eyes are right around this area here. Also, there were things like tally marks included, which are also accurately represented with 20 tally marks on each side. And then we have the rangefinder, or the antenna piece, which looks great in this particular set, and I would never compare it to something like those little door thingies that you know what I'm talking about? At the end of the day, I think it's an easy buy for any fan of Captain Rex from the Clone Wars, or Captain Rex from the video games, or Captain Rex from the Bad Batch, or Captain Rex from the Clone Wars movie. As long as you can look past that small mouthpiece, and I certainly can, it's not as jarring to me as something like the cannon on the AAT, especially from certain angles. This helmet just looks fantastic, and it's something I'd be happy to have on my display in the near future. Ultimately, for $70, yeah, I feel this might be a bit pricey, but you should still buy it regardless and use my affiliate link in the comments down below. I don't think there's ever been a better example of a set that's a 9 out of 9. A lot of good things and one very obvious problem, just like with me, but you'll have to find that problem out for yourself. Next, we're on to the LEGO Star Wars 2023 Clone Commander Cody helmet set. If you don't know, Cody was best friends with Rex in the animated LEGO Star Wars series on the television, so it's nice that we got this set. It's set number 75 something or another. It costs $70, and in today's review, I hope you decide whether or not it's worth buying. Spoiler alert, it is worth buying, and if you do, you can use the affiliate link in the comments down below. Inside the box, you'll find a whole bunch of tiny LEGO pieces. Conveniently, LEGO also gives us an instruction sheet, including some information about Commander Cody, and those instructions will give you instructions on how to complete your model. More tiny stickers, another black display stand, and I kind of assume it was intentional for this one, but the bottom 4 studs are orange this time so that it kind of matches the Commander Cody vibe. And he does have the standard LEGO Star Wars plaque. Unfortunately, on my particular set, the P has a bit of a misprint that makes it look kind of bad. And this Phase 1 Commander Cody helmet does seem like a faithful recreation of what we see in Star Wars The Clone Wars, but we'll still go through every detail of this one by one, only leaving out the ones I don't feel like talking about. Starting at the chin of this helmet, we have the area that I probably have the biggest problem with. There are some unsavory gaps here. Trust me, I've tasted them. I think they're unavoidable. I mean, it's LEGO pieces. They're never going to be a perfect fit or a perfect taste, but if you're going to point out anything on this helmet, it's pretty obvious that this is not ideal. Another small thing I kind of notice is with this orange decal here, there's something wrong about this general area here with the small detail. It's definitely missing here. A lot of these trooper helmets that LEGO Star Wars had previously used nice curved pieces on these lower parts, and so it's a little bit different vibe when everything's kind of straight edge and no actual curve here, so that might be something that you like or dislike. As for me, I like or dislike it appropriately. The side vents are still present here, which is again something that LEGO Star Wars fans care about, and so it's accurate, being 4, and it's properly represented in this case. That brings us to the back bottom section, which most of us will probably never look at, and so I also will not look at that. For the face or visor area, my favorite part is that it's actually made of orange bricks, which is accurate to the actual Commander if you look at the pictures from the actual show. Unfortunately for Cody here, I think his mouth is a little bit small compared to Captain Rex, who has a perfectly sized, beautiful, kissable mouth on his helmet. I think Cody here's is just a little inaccurate. Another thing I think this helmet does really well is these side sections have a slight angle to them. You can see that you can actually open and close these. That actually is a real feature on Cody's helmet. It allows him to calibrate his aim so that he can better betray Obi-Wan on Utapau. But then you have the antenna here, which doesn't at all represent those little door things that like they go, you know what I'm talking about, those? It doesn't look like those at all. A lot of people are going to complain about the non-orange part here, and so I'm going to join them and say that I hate the fact that this part isn't orange. In fact, I wish this entire helmet were orange. There's way too much white, way too much black, way too much of every color, including nuts, not orange. Even that little red brick there, that little piece, I wish that was orange. But I still love this Phase 1 Commander Cody helmet. I wish it was a Phase 2 Commander Cody helmet, but I still give it a 9 out of 9. I think it's an absolute must-buy for any LEGO Star Wars fan, and when you do buy it, use my affiliate link in the description down below. Onto the LEGO Star Wars Princess Boushh helmet, which again actually comes in a box, and the box is full of LEGO pieces. I much prefer it that way instead of the LEGO store employees just pouring pieces into your open palms and saying, good luck carrying that out of the store, we're all out of bags. Again, this set will cost you $70, which is kind of the standard price for the helmet sets now, but hey, it's a great opportunity to go out and support some small creators, so go find someone who has an affiliate link for this who isn't me and click on the affiliate link for their video in their description down below of their video. We'll start at the base of our beautiful Boushh helmet. Again, there's a printed plaque. Unfortunately, on my particular set, the P has a bit of a misprint that makes it look kind of bad. Underneath, you're actually going to find brown studs that will kind of match the color of this Boushh helmet, which is fun because LEGO's never done that in other sets before. Looking at this lower section of the Boushh helmet, you can actually pull this whole mouth section apart. Unfortunately, unlike the Commander Cody and Captain Rex helmets, the mouthpiece on this set is actually just a little too small. I think it was the perfect size. In the other helmets, it's a shame that they couldn't couldn't get it right here. You can actually pull this whole mouth section apart and see that it's actually held together at a 15-degree angle by Lego Technic, which does scare a lot of people, but I'm not afraid of anything except for rejection. So to me, the Technic is a nice little touch. In doing my research for this video, I couldn't figure out what everything on this helmet was called, but I did see that this bottom part of the helmet is supposed to be leather, and Lego went with a brown color to represent leather, which I think was a really strong choice. I would have also gone with brown if I was Lego and I was trying to recreate leather. Now on the very front of this section, I believe we have the speech scrambler, and you can see they use a small sticker detail in there. Fun fact, if you play back Boushh's scrambled audio in reverse from the actual movie, it actually says, "JK, I'm Princess Leia the whole time, not Boushh, got you suckers." So I think it's nice that Lego decided to include that little detail on here. Looking higher brings us to this black visor that the character can see out of from inside. It's about 180 degrees of viewing, which is nice, but still not exactly as many degrees as she would need, assuming she visited the Epcot World Showcase area and went to one of the country pavilions that had the 360-degree movies, you know, in the theater where you look all around yourself in 300. So she could only see half of the screen at one time, which is nice, but again, not ideal. Then moving to the side of the helmet, we have one of my favorite part uses for Lego ever, though it's a little controversial. Instead of the little greebling here, they used a little phone piece, which I think is Lego's way of saying that girls always be on the phone. I didn't get a comment from any Lego designers or from my friend Dave on this one, but still a fun little detail included there. And here we have what some people might think is the most interesting part of the build. I personally think there's one thing about this helmet that's slightly more interesting than this area, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Nana nana boo boo. It's the green bar above everything, and you have this piece here that kind of sticks out, and I couldn't actually figure out what this does. I think it's some sort of priority targeting system, but I'm not 100% sure. Personally, I think that a bright green is the perfect decision for this area. A lot of people would say otherwise, but those people would be wrong. But anyway, from the eye test, they've got the shaping down really well on this, assuming I didn't cheat on my eye test and look at the paper of the person sitting next to me. I just kind of disagree with making this bright green. In a lot of shots of the movie, it's like really subtly green, although it's supposed to have two strips of LEDs that when lit up are kind of like a bright green, so it does kind of make sense to be green, but also like it doesn't. I don't know. I had a bit of a tough time with this one. The final notes I have on this one as we look to the top of the helmet, it's nice and accurate, but they kind of leave out any of the weathering that this helmet has. It's got a dent from a blaster shot up top, and it's just kind of got a lot of other scratches that aren't represented at all here. So personally, I'm going to hit the top of this set with a hammer, but I'm in the process of moving right now, so my hammer's in storage. So when I do get that hammer, I'm going to add some of the denting and weathering myself, and I would encourage you to do the same. Save for a few small flaws, this one's like a 9 out of 9 for me. It's a great Lego Star Wars helmet. I think it's great that we finally have some female representation among these helmets, though I guess you could make an argument that a scout trooper or a TIE fighter pilot technically could be a woman underneath that helmet, but there's no real way of knowing. In this case with the Boushh, we know that we've got Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi. As nice as this one is, if $70 is still too steep for you, you can totally wait it out for a sale, although if you are like me or any other Lego Star Wars fan, you probably lack any self-control and probably have more dollars than cents, if you know what I mean. So if you do end up picking this one up immediately, which I would recommend, please do use my affiliate link in the description down below. So let me know what you think about these sets in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. You can check out more 2023 Lego Star Wars set reviews on the end screen now.